how's it going? My name is V, and I want you to know that you're not alone. Good morning. I never sit here and do this. This is actually kind of a new thing for me. But I feel like opening up. I feel like gaining a sense of community through the fact that I watch you, you watch me. We all glimpse into each other's lives very intricately, in and out like a breeze, swiping through stories, through posts, through media. I think sometimes we forget that we are human, though. And because of that, it's very easy to take on an emotion and then just whisk it right away. Doing so, the latter to that, the opposite effect would be to hold it in too deeply. Sometimes I wake up and I feel great. And then some other times I wake up and the world feels extremely heavy. I have a hard time letting my emotions on occasion just coming to me and being known to me, and I have to let myself feel it. And like, I was just crying, right? Like, I was just crying for a moment, and then I was like, you know what, it's gonna be okay. You can feel it, but you let that emotion run right through you like a breeze. You don't keep it, you don't hold it, because essentially we are much more expansive than that. And whenever we keep these emotions inside, when we keep these dark, gut-wrenching feelings, and I don't know, a lot of people spiral like I do, but my mind can very easily spiral. And it feels incredibly fast. And it feels like I'm falling to the point that I don't even know that I am falling. And it just feels like I'm hitting the ground, but I'm still in the air. If you are having any sort of emotions and you feel like you're falling, but you've smacked the ground, but you could keep falling, I saw this poem and it's what made me cry, honestly. But it was because you get so healed to a point that whenever you start growing, it's scary. It's so scary. And even though you're scared, you have to keep going. And if you don't, that's where that free falling feeling is. But if you strive to keep flying up and up and up, you're scared because you've never been up so high. You've never been doing so well for yourself, choosing the right things, doing the hard things that, don't always feel right in the moment, but is good for you in the future. And sometimes that feeling is so scary that you want to let go of it all. And I have a problem with self-sabotage. I do that quite often, and it's to the point I don't even know that I'm doing it. And so I've become more present to learn those triggers, and I've also grown to know when trying to recognize when I am doing it so that I can slow down. But you have to tell yourself that your feelings are 100% valid. You don't have to be anywhere. You don't have to be anything. You just are. I know I'm not alone because I have a lot of friends that I talk to on deep levels about things, and being a human is incredibly difficult. And I think a lot of people push the idea away so that they don't have to deal with it. But the moment that you do decide to deal with it, you have unwrapped a present that you cannot retape over. You can try, but it'll always be sitting in the corner glowing. And that is your potential. That is your future. This message is really like, I want you to know that you're seen. I see you. I'm here feeling these things. And I do a lot of crap that I'm not supposed to against myself subconsciously. And you turn around and you look back and you say, why the hell did I do that? And that's okay. There's a part of me that wants to do better by myself and to the people around me. I think a lot of us have that structure within our minds. And then whenever you ask yourself, well, why do I keep doing the stuff that I don't want to do if that's not what I want to do, like on a real level? And it's all habitual, it's subconscious, and it's also a lot of your own self-talk. Are you giving yourself the grace, space, time, rest, all of these things? Or do you just keep filling the vices and shoving it all down? Because I have a problem with doing that. I'm like gung-ho on being the best version of me possible, but I don't execute her properly. There's some things that I do here and there, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing it. I'm half-assing it though, aren't I? And then I think that part of that half-assing though, the reason why we shove it all down is because we don't believe in our true potential to be able to fly so high above what we've been for so long. I have sat around and said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that 100 times over. And there's a lot of things that I procrastinate on when it comes to my own mental health, my own good will, because it's just uncharted territory to an extent. And because I think that the second that I think that I'm going to get everything that I want, I'll be happy. Oh no. And I look at other people and I'm like, they strive for what they want. They know exactly what they want and they go right for it. My mind is, my future in my mind is so unknown that I just never set a plan because I know that I'll be okay. And to an extent though, I've used that as a crutch where I'm like, oh, I don't need to plan anything because I know everything's going to work out and everything will be okay. No structure. No structure at all. And flying by your seat or whatever the saying could be, I like to say I'm pulling my bootstraps up and I'm putting my big girl pants on and going at it head first, making a plan. Set aside time in your day to calm down your brain, which I have a hard time doing. Sometimes I don't know if it's because people have told me I've had ADHD. People have told me, oh, that it could be mania. I think that I just have a free spirit. I like to say it's because I'm an air sign. We're going to try and change the narrative. I'm working on a plan for that, which I count as a step forward. But I've gotten into this position before where I get on a good path and then I feel like I'm taking a step back, and really it's a spiral. We're all moving forward. And the only reason it seems like a look back is just because we're able to look back. But I can't do that. I have to look forward. So making a chart of things, a notes app, writing it down on a whiteboard, a piece of paper, putting it in your journal, writing down all the things that you're grateful for. A gratitude journal is very helpful. I like to list things, usually at the beginning of the day, that I'm feeling blessed for. That I have noticed, though, over the years that I wish that I was a little bit more consistent with was reading. I go in and out of phases of reading. Sometimes I'm very obsessed with it, and you can't get me to stop reading to the point where I'm walking around in my neighborhood and reading a book at the same time. Don't recommend it for really busy streets, but if you live in a quieter neighborhood, it's easy. And it's really what I do on vacation is I read a lot. And I think that that's funny because usually when people take vacations, it's to explore, which I do enjoy doing, but I like to find myself in my spare time reading. And when I'm home, I work a lot, but I also like to find time to play as well. And so going to parks is a really big thing for me. And so reading, journaling in parks is a huge, huge part of my life. I love the intricate, like, special little romanticism that I get to do with it. I pack my bag. I get to put on my little outfit, my shoes. I pack up the car, finding a parking spot, getting to see people running up and down the hill, kids playing, people running, dogs, the clouds, the grass, the sky, the trees. Everything is just so beautiful to me. to the point that when I think about it, it just brings me into a peaceful state, because we are nature and we're meant to be in it. It's not something we're supposed to go and find. It is just there. And I want to find it, though, I want to find it more within myself. And the only way I think to do that is to try and get out of my mind whenever it does start spiraling, and remember to give myself gratitude and peace. And we should all be doing that. In doing so, for somebody who feels alone in a very big world, where other people feel alone also in a very big world, you're not. I feel these things, you feel these things, and it's really important for us to be able to sit down and like have community in that. I feel really, really good whenever I get to sit down with a stranger or a friend, or just even in passing. It doesn't even have to be a sit down long conversation. I get so much gratification and ease out of just having a conversation with people. I'm a big yapper. I love to sit and yap. And I don't like to let my brain tell me that you shouldn't be doing something because you might be judged for it. Because at the end of the day, it's always going to be judged. I want to build community through being able to talk to people, and you can talk back. I love to be able to have conversations with people, but it's not always easy, and I'm not a big texter. I don't like to have phone conversations because a lot of the times my brain misinterprets what you're saying. There's a certain point to your life that you have to decide when you get so sick of your own bullcrap that you just have to choose to be a different version of yourself. I have eventually, in different sequences of my life, gotten to the point where I've been so sick of my own actions, my own life, the way that things look, that I have completely rerouted and changed everything. I recently moved into an apartment, and in doing so, I feel a lot more grown up, and now everyone lives in houses and apartments and stuff, but not a lot of people do it alone. And when you feel alone, when you are alone, it can bring you into either a really good position or a really bad position. And I am choosing to let it put me in a good position. And now in doing so, it's uncharted territory. It's new. And so it's a little bit scary. And like I want to do better. And so I will. Don't let myself, sabotage everything over and over and over again, because it's scary. And I think once I realize that my brain does that, once it thinks that things are too scary, it like does something that it shouldn't, and then I'm like, whoa, wait, why do we do that? And it's like, okay, well, let's do this instead. And I have to like get really proud of myself and like give myself some space whenever I do something that feels good and that is on the right track. And I have to actually like mentally tell myself like, good job, V, because you did it. I need that like reassurance and that like affirmation, like you are strong, you are capable, you can do this, like you can make better choices. Nobody sits around and saves you, you save you. And like I sometimes, like my brain takes in these emotions and it's like, holy crap, that's a lot. And then I'm like, wait a minute, because like you're the observer of those emotions, they're not yours to keep. So whenever my body starts taking in an emotion, especially as an empath, I start taking in an emotion, I have to like take a step back and be like, whoa, the body feels this, but you don't feel it. You are just experiencing it, and you can choose to like let it go. Always think like that. Sometimes I'm still irrational. Sometimes I even think it, and then I make the mental choice to do what I don't want and go against that. And that's a different story. But choosing to do the right thing, some mistakes can be reversed, some cannot. I really try to make good choices so that whenever a choice is made, and if it can't be reversed, I'm okay with the fact that that was what happened. And everything happens as it does. There's really only so much control that you have over situations, but you can control like how you feel about it, how you react to it. And for me, the reaction is so important, but also like the execution is too. Like I want to have full control over the situation, but that's the illusion, is that you don't have control. There is a certain level that you can kind of persuade, but you really don't have full, like, you know what I'm saying? So you can choose to get up out of bed first thing in the morning, drink a bunch of water, and shake your body out. Or you can choose to doom scroll, chug a fireball. I don't know, literally anything. You could choose anything that would be damaging to you. I mean, maybe that stuff is good for you. Maybe doom scrolling and chugging fireball first thing in the morning is what makes you productive, but I highly doubt it. Usually getting up, drinking a bunch of water, and shaking my body out is what makes me feel like I'm going to have a good day. That doesn't always necessarily mean that just because you did do the damaging thing means that it's the complete outcome. At any point in time, you can stop the damaging thing and say, wait a minute, I don't want to doom scroll anymore. Wait a minute, I don't want to chug a bunch of wine right now. I actually want to do this instead. Things can be changed. And so what I'm trying to do is learn how to change those things. Lose the idea of control, because that's when I'm looking at the big picture and I'm like, oh, I can control this, I can do this, I can do that. Looking at it as one thing and then going from there. And I also did just wake up. My brain had something to say and I wanted to get it out. And so I'm going to not try to judge myself in this moment, because maybe this will end up helping somebody else as well. Try to read a book. It's going to be beautiful today. And find some space in this universe where I can feel at peace, as we all should. Taking a deep breath in. And doing that over and over again until you feel like you can sit with yourself and not feel like you're running with your feet off the ground. I don't want to free fall while feeling like I'm also smacking the ground. And the only way to do that is by breathing. So I felt at the beginning of this a little anxious and alone. And now I don't feel so alone. And I'm still sitting here by myself. So sometimes just even talking it out is all you need. This message is to let you know that you're not alone. I hope you have a great day.